So, all right. So, Motorsports Almanac is live for the first time ever. Super excited for all of us to be here. We've all been busy with our respective seasons. Charles and Wyatt are joining me, and this is going to be our crew. For whenever we do these podcast shows right now in the summertime, we don't really know how often it's going to be, but we're doing it now while we have the chance. We all had an off weekend, and Wyatt, you've been out covering events for us. Charles, you've been out announcing your rear end off with your diesel drag series. I've been trying to drive and video some at the same time, but we're here. We're midway through. So let's just go over some of the big points that we've seen so far this year. I mean, we've had a bunch.
Well, since we're always covering something about polling, Charles, you might as well just highlight what's going on in the Outlaw Diesel Super Series and Diesel Drag Racing World so far.
Yeah, man, go for it.
It's been good in terms of new engagement on the front end of the season with the schedule being what it is, where it's big track season, right? And now we go into short track season. And by that, I mean places that were designed to only be eighth mile ever, versus the front end of the calendar where it's always quarter mile. And on the pro level, we've got cars now that are substantially fast enough to need that extra slowdown speed or space to get stopped safely. I think on the back half, it's going to be a time for sportsman classes to shine and really do some good stuff. The record breaker part of the year, where we could see that 3-second eighth mile diesel pass or the 190. I think that opportunity has now gone, and I don't really want anybody to push for it now. With what we've got left for this back half of the calendar, for their safety. These are people that have become really close to me and friends of mine, and I don't want them to be hurt trying to just chase a number at a facility that maybe can't handle what they can throw at it. I'd rather see them just be safe, and to be honest, it might hurt the show. Park it. Go somewhere else. Go do something else, and let's wait till 2024 and see what we can get for fast tracks where we can really push those boundaries.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I mean, we run the same thing with pulling. We go to pull a filter and we see something in it. It's light stuff that's in the filter. You're kind of on the fence of can we run it, can we not run it. Anymore, everybody just chooses to go conservative with it and make sure that you've got your machine ready for the next go rounds. I mean, I think we saw that this weekend. Unfortunately, Billet Binder and the Real Deer Pro broke at Jerseyville on Friday night, and they didn't get to run last night. But man, pulling is alive and well. I don't know if everybody's been seeing the posts I've been making on our page, just listing out some of the events that we have going on every single solitary weekend. I think whenever I made that list on Tuesday, I think it took me legitimately an hour and a half to make it.
And it's only going to get worse because there's more and more and more events coming up.
Yeah.
All in 1 week.
Charles, what have you been doing pulling?
I was back with where I started this last night with Thumb Tractor Pulling Association and single track show. And we had some rain that delayed us about an hour getting started. But the facility that we were at has always been a power track place where you'll see what you've got. We had roughly 110 hooks scheduled to appear for one track. And a lot of times, people want to dilute that concept with that it's, there's antiques in there or whatever. We have a 6,000 pound, 5 mile an hour antique class, much like what ITPA does with their 5,500. There were 15 in that one. After that, we were 10,000 farm stock, 10 mile an hour, and all the way up to super farm. A bevy of truck classes, both spark plug and injector, 110 hooks. It
That's
was,
awesome.
I'm really, really, really impressed with where the grassroots of this sport is right now. I'm seeing turnouts and entry lists that 2016, 17, 18, I would have begged to have. We've got them now. So I think things are in a good spot on the very grassroots level. I'm just curious where that's going to translate to level up, level up, level up.
Oh, I got you. That's awesome though. Wyatt, what about you, Bubba? Where you been going?
Um, like last this past weekend, I've hit basically every variation of a big association or small association around here. Thursday night was an NTPA regional hook I went to and went to Decorah. It was 6 classes. They added light pro stocks this year, and it it's always been Decorah where the crowd is packed, and I've never seen it where we were pushing lightning and rain, and everybody stayed until the very very last hook until it started downpouring after the hook was over. Um, and that was 60 hooks that night on a racetrack with big horsepower, and the next night had basically the same thing, dealing with rain in Tipton, and it's an ECI show. So we had 60 hooks in Decorah. Well, I'm guessing I think we had way more than that down in Tipton. And ECI is kind of like what Thumb is, just in our area. It's kind of like the grassroots of it. And we've seen record numbers in crowds this year. And that's also kind of translated to the numbers aspect of it. I think the only smallest class we ever had was the Super Farms. Everything else has been really, really good numbers. The 2 hot farms are up in that double digits, 20 plus number. So, and then last night, I don't really get much over in the PPL side of things. I went to Badger State Hook. Same thing. Record crowd, packed to the brim an hour before the show. So
That's
we
awesome.
got there. We got there an hour and a half before the show just to get in the seats.
Yeah.
And it's about as big as stuff you can get from the local stuff to packing the track to start the night, all the way up to pro stocks. So
Yeah. That is awesome to see though. So I mean, let's see a little bit about mine. I finally was able to get mine out in time to go to Lexington, Tennessee this last weekend second to last weekend in June to make a hook before my hometown hook. Got started driving Hoptown. Got a top 10 on Friday night. Got a top 5 turnaround. Got a top 5 on Saturday, and then went to La Center, Kentucky last weekend to a cancer benefit pool for a couple of kids in the little center community, and I'm kind of close to that community because I worked in our Mayfield location for 4 years, so I kind of got to grow and know a few people in that area. So I went over there, and we had the water pump mess up, so we had to do that. We had this weekend scheduled off anyway because we've got Chapel Hill coming with the Diesel Super next weekend, then we've got Brandenburg, Kentucky coming up, then Bowling Green, then just we've got so many stretches of hooks
I
coming
didn't
up.
hear Rockwell in there.
I don't know
Rockwell,
about Rockwell. I'm not in control of that one. If it was up to me, it'd be a yes.
Rockwell, just saying.
I know. I want to go.
biggest in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. I
Yep.
want to go really, really bad. I'll be honest. So
Get
if
it
you
on
guys
your
can
radar.
convince the higher ups above me to go, we will.
Who I got to call?
Probably Dad or Brandon, one of the two.
I
But
got.
talk about Brandon.
I think I got Brandon's numbers, so we'll start there.
Yeah. So talk about
You want
Brandon.
this to happen on the show or no?
No, no,
I mean, Texas can have it on the
no.
show. Calls, maybe. Hey,
But talking
that
about
track
him.
that track will test them too.
Yeah, I know. That's why I want to go so bad to Power Track. But yeah, last night I'm just sitting in bed about 9:30, and all of a sudden I have a text message pop up from our family group text, and all of a sudden said, "Hey, your brother drove Evening Thunder tonight," which is our my brother Brandon's in-law family. he's on vacation. So the first time he's ever stepped foot on alcohol tractor in his life, it was in the light super stock class, and he turns out and just comes out and just wins it. Hasn't driven all year long, just gets on the tractor and wins it at the Elizabethtown with Mid South against Phillips and a few others, and that was awesome text to get. But at the same time, it's kind of like, man, I wish I could have known about that, so I would have been there. Would love to have seen that.
Those are the texts you don't
Impromptu gets
expect.
you every time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that also means the good thing is that the tractor's home, ready to go for Chapel Hill as well. So we will for sure be making it.
Are you doing this show from the shop?
No. This is my mom's shop where she keeps all of her stuff for Red Essentials and all of her Case IH products and all that kind of stuff.
Well, show that shit off. Come on, let's go.
Oh, it's just a bunch of totes and all that kind of stuff back here. That's literally all it is.
I'll take a large of everything in the middle row.
Yeah. There's another row on this side too. So no, if I was in the pulling shop, y'all would know it. I don't have any internet up there.
Gotta
Sadly.
mess with you. Gotta mess with you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but man, let's get into all the news that we've had. I mean, we've had a lot happen. We were able to get a hold of Rex Kuhn debuting his light super stock, the old Commander chassis. Wyatt, you were there. You laid eyes on it right off the bat. You sent pictures to me. We got it posted before anybody else. Tell us a little bit about it.
Um, in the words of Rex, it's still a work in progress. He said even though he knows what's in it, everything it's still there's still changes he made to it. Not just cosmetically, like the looks of it, but just how it runs, how it sets itself, front end, weight, all that. He's just he's just happy at how long it's come. He's still got a couple changes he wants to make to it, but yeah, he's always wanted to come back to a deer, even though it's a blue motor in it. He's always been a deer man at heart, and he did a very very good job on the hoodwork and everything. It looks really cool for
Yeah,
new
it looks
chassis.
spectacular. I was
So
really excited, and reviewers like, "Oh, hey, dude! By the way, this is here."
yeah, we didn't expect it to be debuting at Toma. We thought it'd be a little later. And then Rex and Ken Payne start rolling in the pits, and we're like, okay, he's ready and he's coming to play.
Yeah,
So,
those weren't the only guys though that made a return to Toma. The Grandview Gangsters, as they're now called, made their return to Toma. And what I've been told was the first time they've been there in 20 years.
yes, it was the first time that they've been in Toma since before I was alive.
Jeez, that's kind of crazy to think about and say.
Thank you for
But
making me
man, we've
feel
had
old.
so many other things too. What did you say,
So
Charles?
Thursday night,
I just said thank you for making me feel old.
I mean, you know.
we were
Yeah,
sitting
but I
there
mean,
Thursday night session in Toma, and limited pro stocks were happening. All of a sudden, this big black hauler comes in the north entrance, and text messages start rolling in. Mastersons are here. Nope, they
yeah,
had told nobody except a couple pro stock guys they were coming. So
that's
they
so
rolled in,
cool.
and it was just open the doors, floodgates of people right to the trailer.
Yeah, they've been around
So
long enough, and they've proven themselves time and time again that they deserve that kind of attention anyway. And they've been on a roll this year too. I think they're running the full tilt whenever it comes to the Pro Pulling League side of points, if
yep,
I'm not mistaken.
they're currently in the lead for the points with the River
Yeah.
Rat.
Okay. Yeah. After the
It's yeah,
pass they had last night, I wouldn't want to mess with them right now.
yeah. So they were coming out of Nashville. It was Jack Mays and the River Rat tied for the points, and their first hook was in Jerseyville the other night. That was the first hook since Nashville that they'd run a points hook, and Jack hurt tractor. I think Kevin got him by one position, so he's 2 points ahead. But Jack could not make it to Henry last night, so Kevin took a big lead and even won last night. Swept the top two positions, so they're
Yeah.
currently in number one and maybe number two in the points.
He didn't just win last night. He won that with authority at a 381-foot pass. Absolutely insanity.
So, it, there's been quite a few stories, and it wasn't even just Toma that when the stories all started either. It's after that too. I mean, there's been a bunch of new stuff. I mean, we've been posting on the page new like
Yeah.
Plotzes have they've
Yeah.
been on a roll so far. 3 out of the first 5 passes have been wins.
Yeah. Same thing can be said for another tractor though too, and this was more of a news headline that just popped into my head as I was walking over here getting everything set up. Is man, field sobriety, I don't think I want to touch him right now. He got second place last night, but it's only to the guy that's beat him one other time this year.
That's gonna be a tough points race. Even though Bobby's in the lead, it's still gonna be tough because Hogs have always been there.
Yeah. But I mean, in other news too, we had Lily Ross Stacy. She drove her husband's diesel truck last night. That wasn't her first time driving it. She drove it at OSTPA hook before, but that was really cool to see, seeing her go from diesel super into the diesel truck. She handled it well too.
She can
Got Ross
jockey.
in
She can jockey multi chargers. She's got it.
Oh yeah,
She's a Ross.
but
Got
I
to
mean,
got to
just
see her first win on the Diesel Super at Napoleon a few years ago. I was there for that, and yeah, she can.
yeah,
She's good. She can handle it.
yeah, if
Mm-hmm.
she can, absolutely. But I mean, just in other news, I mean, Scott Frankie returned with Chance Encounter. Rock Valley didn't have the run that they wanted to have, I'm sure, but man, it's just so good to see that thing back. It adds another diesel super to the outlaw group, and they will get that thing ironed out.
Let's just say this side of the country it was in relief. It is not where it was.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot. Heard that a lot. The
It to this day.
Nichols
No.
debuted their second truck this weekend, I think, and
Mm-hmm.
it's called Fine Edge, I believe, and they did well. And I think Mr. Nichols' wife is going to be driving that one, if I'm
Yeah,
not mistaken.
that's Kelly's truck. That'll be Kelly's truck from here on out. So just
Yeah.
working the bugs out of it.
Yeah, and then we had Scattered Parts going to 4.1. If I'm not mistaken, that was a super farm up in the northern part of the country, wasn't it? Or am I thinking of
No,
another one?
no. Scattered Parts has always been in the Franzen and Doslin stable. It actually started out as a. I hope I don't get this wrong, but it was like a non-turbo, like 6,500 pound, kind of like an antique tractor at first, like very long time ago. And this is
Oh,
probably I think
wow.
it's fifth class it's been in.
That's crazy.
So
Yeah.
whole lot of
Uh,
sponsors on the side of that one. There's probably 13 sponsors on the side of that are just local alone.
yeah. And last night, our second to last news story that I want to get to, we had Stampede returning to the track in Wisconsin last night after we had heard it had been sold. But thank the Lord that rumor was false.
Yeah, Charles, had you heard that rumor?
No,
No. We had heard since Louisville that Stam had sold the tractor, but it was a misheard from somebody. It was actually he sold the trailer, not the tractor.
well,
Oh,
you'll have
man.
that on the big jobs.
Yeah. But our final news piece that I really wanted to get to was probably the one that's intrigued me the most of all the news that has come out of this is the old No Fear Deer ag chassis being sold to the Little Brothers. I'm really excited if they're going to go 4-1 because where they live in Illinois and they can literally go anywhere they want to go. Plus, that just means Little's going to come back possibly driving again. And that's just
Funny you say
awesome.
that. Funny you say that. I actually ran into the family that sold them the tractor last night in
Did you
Arlington.
really?
Yes, it is not going to be a 4-1. It is going to be a
5-0?
5-0. It's going to
Okay.
be ITPA 5-0, and the Little Brothers are going to be campaigning it.
That's awesome. You heard it here first.
So
Going to 5-0. I mean, we've had other returns too. You want to talk about Treasures going to 5-0. Meltdown is running one final season as a big pro stock before ITPA goes to the 5-0 rule after this year. He returned to the shootout, and that was in Nashville this weekend over at the fairgrounds track, right?
yep.
Yeah, he returned and he just laid down a smoking pass like Schnitker always does, no matter where he shows up to. And it was awesome to see. Had the Mitas tires on, and he was the last hook of the class, and just made everybody look small.
Yes, sir. Yep, that's some of the big stuff that's happened so far. I still feel like there's gonna be a lot of big stuff coming yet. I
Yeah,
think it's just a matter of time of when and who.
yeah. I mean, that's the biggest question is like who's going to show up where and why.
Mm-hmm. So,
Charles,
well,
what have you got going on for your side of things still, buddy? How much season do you have left?
Oh, no stop till October.
I feel that.
Yeah,
I feel that.
there's no pause. There's no free weekend. It's just go until mid October. And
Oh
actually,
wow.
even beyond that, I've got to deal with my daughter. She's never seen nitromethane, so we're flying out probably in October or November to go to the West Coast for NHRA. So it's never going to stop. Cameras in our face, even deep in the season. There is no stop.
That's gonna
Good
be
thing,
really
good, bad
cool.
thing.
Yeah,
So,
Charles, I had every intention of getting up there with you last Sunday, but the timing just didn't work out after it had
Yeah,
rained you
with
out
the
on
weather what it
Saturday.
was, probably would have. Well, I wasn't up here last weekend. I was down where you were. You live
Yeah.
last weekend, so
Well,
and
Bowling
the
Green's a
weather
little bit
sucked
north
down
of
there
you.
too. So
Yeah. Bowling Green's on the northern side of where I'm from, but yeah, man, I wish I could have made that for sure.
now that we're talking about racing, I think we should talk about one thing. And Charles, you and I had this discussion too. It's cool. It's cool to see that the Bandamere family is planning on building another racetrack there in Denver.
yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
If you look, there's various applications you can use. There's various websites you can go to where, and they've already said like they're looking at 1,100 acres, and there are various 550 to 640, which would be a square mile, parcels available around the east side and the north side of Denver Airport. What I have not, I don't pay for the, the use of those websites to actually find out who the owner is. It'll just tell you that hey, this is it's a contiguous property or whatever, but it won't tell you who owns it without paying for it, and I don't care that much to find out for $30 a month. But um, I'm sure there are some opportunities there, and they are possessed of the means to do so and the commitment to do so, to make a facility still be mile high. It's not going to be as picturesque or as beautiful as Bandamere was, but the ability to still go mile high drag racing, I think, is going to continue.
Yeah. So are they shutting down the other track then?
It's gone after the end of this season. This will be it. And this weekend, uh, I have not looked at this point. The NHRA Mile High Nationals has concluded. I have not looked to see who won, but it's over. There will be a few more events to finish out the fall, but it's done.
I
Wow.
I have seen who won Top Fuel, and I have not seen who won Funny Car, but they say that it was a standing ovation with a sell-out crowd at the very
Yeah,
final run.
they were sold
Yeah.
out. They were sold out Friday night, which
Yeah,
Friday
the
night in an
qualifying
NHRA
session.
deal is big, and they
Mm-hmm.
they were sold out Friday night.
Yeah, because we were sitting there eating dinner and we saw that it was qualifying, and my dad was just in awe, and he was like, "I want to know how we get that to come into pulling." So let's have that discussion. What is it going to take to get crowds like they have at NHRA to our pools?
Nitromethane,
The
which
automotive
isn't going to
world
happen.
is, yeah, the automotive world also is much larger, I'd say, than the agricultural world when it comes to um I'd say like interest or like comparability. People can compare to cars going down the road or muscle cars since they were a kid, but
Mm-hmm.
then they watch that, but they also watch the what's built up to when it comes to pro stock motorcycle all the way up to nitro funny car and top fuel. They see how technology's
Right.
advanced and advanced, and these V8 blocks that they grew up wrenching on their garage, and see what craziness they can throw in it.
I don't want to ever get into the game. And earlier in my career, I did try to get into the game. I don't want to get into the game of comparing tractor pulling to drag racing, NASCAR, Formula One, IMSA, WEC. Pick your alphabet soup. We are our own thing, and we've got to sell our own thing as what we are. There is
Mm-hmm.
no, hey, tractor pulling is like this. No, it's not like anything. It's you forget whatever you know about anything. We're our own
Mm-hmm.
deal, and you've got to accept that and start conceptualizing a means to market this sport based on a paradigm that is very different from any sport where you have a contiguity of result. You cannot set a track record for tractor pulling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, somebody at 330 feet. That's the furthest of this track. That doesn't mean shit because you're hooked to a sled. It's a different deal. And we have to do a better job of contextualizing what we do and how we do it and not get caught in the trap of being comparative to other forms of sport where they do have absolutes. It's not fair to us to do that. And I keep a foot in both realms. Obviously, it's not fair. It's not fair to pulling to do that.
Yeah, let's be blunt. It's comparing apples to oranges. I mean, both have their audiences, both have their interests and points of what they're trying to put on for a show. I mean, drag racing, everyone's trying to push the limits, trying to beat the next guy next or in the other lane. Pulling, you just I don't want to say it's not just an only family sport because I know drag racing is too, or any type of motorsport, but it's just that's what it was built on. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's hard for me to word it. Charles, you're better with that than I ever could be. So
Yeah. I mean, I agree that we
What it
are.
is you can set whatever rules you want to. We're gonna say this particular group has this rules, this particular group has that rules. I don't care about any of that. It doesn't matter to me. That's fine. It allows a group of 10 to 15 or 20 guys to create something that shares a likeness with another one. What our sport is intimacy. It's that you get to be so close to the application of that power for longer than you could any other way. If you go to a circle track, a road course, a drag strip, it's in your face for split seconds. If you go to a dyno event, a dyno sweep is 2 or 3 seconds or less, probably even shorter if you're really stomping a big number. We offer 12 to 15 seconds of absolute maximum effort, and it's right in your face. And you can't do that anywhere else.
No.
That's where we are different. It's not about the absolute number of how many feet you pulled, how fast you pulled it. There's no calculators to say this is how many horsepower was applied based on the fact that you weighed 3,700 pounds and exited the traps at 165 miles an hour. None of that shit. It's all gone. It's just brutal power right in your face. And we do adjust the lever against that to keep it in your face. I see that on pull off. I see it in a bunch of places all the damn time. Well, who's to tell what class is more powerful than another? There's no way to differentiate. They all do 330 feet. No, we keep the lever adjusted so all of that power is in your face. And then after that, it's on us to make it differentiated for you so you understand what you're seeing. We keep it in the arena. It's not about speed. It's not about time. It's not about records. That shit doesn't matter. We want to keep it in your face and then differentiate it from there. What is a machine capable of? If you put these 5 restrictions on it, what can it do? If you put these 3 restrictions on it, what can it do? If you put no restrictions on it, what can it do? Holy crap. Suddenly your eyes get opened and you start to understand what you're seeing.
Yep.
That's probably the best way you could have put that. The best
I've
way.
had that speech a few times and I will keep giving it.
Wow.
Sometimes, yeah, like you say, people don't completely understand what we're trying to do.
No, they don't.
No.
And that's what's crazy to me because, I mean, the immediate, and I know you said we can't compare them, but the first thing that whenever it comes to drag racing pops into my mind with pulling is the modifieds and the minis and the two wheelers because they all have the blower engine concept in common. I've heard people say that the guys that we have the 5 engines on the unlimited is the 5 and the 6 engines. The drag racing guys I've heard have looked at that and be like, how does that hold together? Because we can't even get our one to hold together. That's what makes us so unique is how we tie things together and make them live whenever we're out on the track.
Now that's a different paradigm, and you're right in that sense. But what people need to understand is end result and what they're trying to achieve, right? And the difference I would say between, let's just take a mini rod versus a top alcohol funny car. Engines are nominally the same, close in terms of cubic inch. A funny car's gonna have a screw blower available. The mini rod's not. The funny car is trying to rev gain. It's trying to accelerate. And there is a shift point in there. Top alcohol funny car, they've got to shift them. It's not direct drive like nitro cars. A mini rod has to go up there right into the kitchen and then try to stay there as long as it can. That's the difference. We're not trying to rev gain. We're trying to go to the max power band and then keep it there if we can. So there's a difference. And we need to do a better job of educating people about that difference and
Yeah,
understanding what exactly our objective and our paradigm is, because it's not the same.
no,
The basic setup is, but the objective is not.
Hmm.
exactly.
Yeah, you're at the high, like top alcohol funny car. Yeah, like you say, cubic inch, ba- basically the same. They're not that far off when it comes to engine wise, but like you say, what they're doing, top alcohol funny car. 6 seconds trying to get that quarter mile as fast as possible at rev gaining it and pulling. 15 seconds, 14, 15, 16 seconds trying to endure it, power band, and drag it down and beat it to death and
Yeah,
see how it lives.
yeah. It's two different things. Same basic rotating assembly. Call up Noonan. Call up AJPE. Call up MBR. I don't care. Alphabet soup. Get the same basic long
Yeah,
block,
exactly.
but the objectives are different.
Mm-hmm.
They
Yep.
are.
I think the guy that just got in the room, RJ Simon, can attest to that too.
RJ's here?
Yeah. We can't.
Oh,
Can you see the chat at all? You
yeah, I
just
can.
No,
Oh,
I
wow.
cannot.
I haven't looked here for a couple of seconds. Vin
I can't
Balkenberg's
see that.
here. Miss
on this.
Schulte's here. Gordon Cox is here. The Joe Stock crew is here. Lindsey Campbell's here. I haven't seen RJ's name pop up in the comments over here on my side yet.
Not yet, but I seen that he's watching. So
Yeah, apparently Facebook's uh, behind like a lot.
Hi, everybody.
but
I'm full of
Wow.
crap.
Yeah, yeah. RJ thinks every single one of you guys have tuned in so far. We cannot. That's going to kind of move us into our next segment because we're not going to try to go over an hour by far because we've all got to go to
I
work
can't.
tomorrow and everything
Yeah,
else.
I
Yeah.
can't.
Plus, I've got to edit the first part of this that you guys didn't see because of the
yeah.
tutorial issue. So
Oh,
that's going to
and
be fun.
Brandon just hopped in too.
Brandon's in too.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
What were you gonna say?
That's really cool.
You're gonna go to the growth part of the page so far.
Yeah, man. Man, I don't know where to even start with this. I mean,
Stay
I've told the
humble. That's
story.
how you start.
I've told it from the get go earlier this week. I mean, we all three want to get back together, but we knew we wanted to be something different, and I think we are so far. And I mean, I don't think our coverage of things have shown that so far. We've been really, really heavy on tractor pulling, but I mean, that just comes and goes with what we do in our seasons and everything else. I mean, we can't. There's only so many places we can all three be at the same time, but the
No, we
amount of
want
support that you guys,
the intention is for this to be beyond just the sport of pulling. There's a world out there,
yeah,
and we tapped on that a bit with the
already,
contrast of pulling and drag racing. But there's so much going on out there, and we're all three a bit ADD and want to
yeah,
talk about some other stuff too. And I think you
yeah,
guys
but
do too, because if you're in the sport, you're a gearhead. You want to hear about it all.
yeah,
So
I mean, last night, or not last night, Thursday, whenever I got done off of this, I went into the house and watched the SRX series that Tony Stewart's put together and watched all of them go around the short tracks up in Stafford, Connecticut, I think. And they're going to stay
oh,
there
is
for
that where
this
they were?
coming week. Yeah. Yeah, that was, I love watching those cars, man. And seeing guys like Clint Boyer race again, Tony Kanaan was racing.
Who
Uh,
won the million at Eldora? That was this
I
weekend.
did not see. I've
I
been
haven't
looking
heard.
all day.
I haven't heard, and I wish Gerbaugh was on here because I thought that he was there and he could tell us.
Yeah, Gerball, I thought he
He
was.
was there, and actually one of the races that I have been to in the past was a Brad Doty Classic this past Tuesday, and I didn't get to go out to Attica to watch it, but I know uh, Larson dominated again, like the last time I was there.
Larson dominate on a dirt track? I can't
Yeah,
possibly imagine
shocker,
that.
right? The guy, he can put a car, he can put one of those wing sprint cars anywhere he wants to. Just
Yeah,
doesn't matter what conditions are. I'm going to be above the cushion. I'm going to be below it. I'm going to be overcooked. Doesn't matter. He decides where the car goes, and it just goes.
it's
Superior talent, and I wish him well. He
yeah.
can freaking drive.
Maybe one of these days, whenever we get big enough, maybe we can snag him on here for a show.
Whew.
Maybe.
Whenever you're going to have to get him in between holding the steering wheel because the guy drives
Yeah,
during the week.
yeah, he does. But I mean, that could even be a pre-recorded thing. Maybe. I mean, that's our goal for this, y'all. Too. I mean, like I said, the amount of support that you guys have shown us, and just we're. I don't even think we're a full month old yet. That's the
No,
crazy part to me.
it was made the Wednesday night right before Toma, which is like the 23rd of June. And it's
Yeah.
what, the 16th of July? It's not even a month yet.
And we're already at 365. Now I know that's in the media world that's not a lot, but to me and Wyatt
About quantity
especially,
and
and Carlos to you
quality.
too. Yeah, I mean, just for us to have gotten there already, we cannot say thank you to all of that and all of the names that are starting to pick up on us and know that we're here. I mean, we're gonna keep doing this. And I mean, this winter, we're going to have interviews coming. I mean, we've got all sorts of plans in place that we all still need to talk about because we've all had ideas. We just haven't had a chance to sit down together and get them talked out all the way. But this winter is going to be a lot of fun. And I mean, the rest of the season is going to be too. I mean, Wyatt, Lord willing, your game time decision, you do get to come down here. We're going to be busy next week in
I'm gonna be
Chapel
busy
Hill. I mean,
all week. There's a possibility I hit 5 polls this week alone.
yeah. I mean, that's the kind of time of year it is. And Charles, I mean, we're excited to go back to Midwest Winter Nationals again. Still waiting to hear official dates and all that stuff on that. I thought we had them, but I didn't. I haven't looked lately either.
Not up to me. I'm just go where I'm told.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go down to Diesels and Dark Corners in November. I'm going to knock that one off my bucket list. Kind of as a end of the pulling season thing. I'm not taking the tractor. It's going to be just me down there
Come
uh,
on.
watching. They don't have super farms. They have the 85 Pro farms.
Put that thing on a
85.
diet.
I'd rather not. I can
Well,
barely handle
yes,
it
you
now.
rather would, so you can move the weight around.
I don't think you want to decube that thing either, or do all the changes to make it 85.
All right,
Yeah,
now we get
exactly.
to the root of the protestation. We're closer
Yeah.
to the truth now.
I don't know if I'd want to drive that thing at 85. She gets a little happy at 93.
800
But
pounds ain't that much. Come on now.
yeah.
Happened
Yeah.
one time, just move past it.
Oh, well, I finally got that monkey off my back at our hometown fair on that Saturday, getting top 5. So, man, that felt good. I'm not gonna lie, that kind of felt like a win in itself, just getting that monkey off my back and getting through that weekend. It was awesome, but
Heck, right now we can't even stop getting thirds with our tractor right now. It's been third for the past 2 weeks. Can't get that monkey
Sounds
off our
like
back.
recipe for a title to me.
God,
Logan. Oh, hey, we have somebody that joined in. Colton Bartelt. He said Logan.
those
I
who
want to
shut
say
their
shoe chart won the $1 million.
Logan Schuchart, good for him. That's awesome.
All right, you know about him. What about him, Charles? You know about
Uh,
him. I know nothing when it comes to the world of outlaws. Besides,
so
they're
a
really
buddy
fast
of
and
mine
dangerous.
who is lives here about, I don't know, 10 minutes east of me is for a day job. He is he lays hardwood flooring, works 4 days a week, and then the other days of the week he travels wherever he can to Ohio and Pennsylvania and any other place he can go, attached as a staff photographer for the team Dryden. So if Logan Schuchart did it, I'm sure he had photos of that, and that's awesome.
Oh Lord, Gerbaugh's in here. He'll probably
Yeah,
put it in there.
Gerbaugh. Andy.
Gerbaugh, who won for sure? We said shoe shart, but just we need to make sure. Yeah, and going back to racing, I know the winner of the Banamere Top Fuel, and it's honestly I don't know how you guys think of him, but it's my favorite driver in Top Fuel right now. But I'm not going to say if you don't know yet.
I did pull that up, and no, it's not. But I'm not. But I don't. But I don't hate it. He's super cool.
I
I have
like him.
no idea what y'all are talking about.
Top Fuel.
Oh, who won it? Supposedly.
Antron Brown.
Of course he did. That's awesome. He's an absolutely awesome advocate for
Wait,
motorsports.
hold on. You sure it was him? I got the different
Oh,
notification.
hold on. Sorry, I'm looking at number one qualifiers. You're right. I got this wrong.
Jeez.
Dang it! Bad info. Hey, I'm still going to be surprised. Go ahead, say who it is.
Clay Milliken.
Yes.
Was
My
that his
God.
first?
No, that's
No.
his second win this season, and I don't know if he's ever gotten 2 in a season ever.
No, he.
How old is the guy?
I don't think they
You
hit.
should-
That's. I'm gonna refrain on that F bomb. Awesome.
Clay is an awesome dude. He is
Is he
always
Yes,
okay?
he
Is
is
he young,
always smiling.
older, younger, middle? Like, where is he at here on
he's
the
like
Fifties,
skill
I'd
drag
say.
racing part?
50s anyway, but he's
Yeah.
Is he?
legit.
Okay, literally the names I know the most of drag for y'all are gonna make fun of me for the drag racing world. It's gonna be Brown and Force. That's really about as far as my knowledge goes.
A
I'll be
lot of the top
honest.
fuel guys are younger anymore. Really, I mean, you got Justin Ashley and Hart, and even Force isn't that old. Austin Prock. Um,
Now I think I watched Proc in qualifying the other night. I
yeah,
think.
you more than likely did. Andy says, yeah, Shark Racing won the million. It was Logan.
That's cool.
He's with Bobby Allen and Shark Racing.
Good.
So
Awesome.
I hope Nick Zeb was there and got some sweet photos. Nick Zeb, NICKZEB on Instagram to follow Shark Racing and the driving team. Check out what Nick's got. I'm sure he's got some awesome photos of that.
That's awesome.
I want to see the pictures of the crowd too, because I've heard it's just packed.
Yeah.
And I
I
always get
mean,
confused. They call it Eldora, and there's a town named Eldora that's also got a speedway, not even an hour and a half, or like an hour and a half from my house. So I was like, wait a minute, no,
yeah.
that's not Iowa.
No. No, Tony Stewart owns that track, and fun fact, he uses Case IH equipment to work on that track because I've seen it on television.
The interesting place about that facility, well, not necessarily that facility directly, is what's to the southeast of it. If you go on Google Maps, you'll see a bigger track that is a remnant that doesn't exist anymore. But there's still the
Oh,
berms are still there, and it's
uh
farmed
huh.
now. I'd love to see anything from that place. That I don't know when they quit racing there, but just a little interesting fun fact about that.
Charles, have you ever seen Dale Jr.'s Lost
I have
Track
not.
series?
I have not. They.
That is a watch. It
I
is
want
so
to.
good.
It's stuck on NBC
Peacock.
Peacock. Yeah, Peacock. Which I've got enough streaming. I'm not going to pay for another one. But when uh, Kelly Earnhardt interviewed Sam Flood, who is the producer of NBC Sports, they talked about that series, and I'm really intrigued about being able to see it. I just don't want to pay for another stupid freaking streaming service
Subscription
to be able to
service.
watch it.
Yeah. Well, the only reason I've seen it is because it was on whenever NBC had their NBCSN channel. It was on there one night. I think it was during a rain delay for a truck race or something. I just happened to catch it. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think it would be a great show, and it would be worth it. Just
It'd be worth it for that alone. I'll be honest. He's
how
thinking
much
about
is
it.
Peacock a year? Sell me. How
I
much
don't
is
know.
Peacock a year?
I don't know. I don't have it. I just got lucky to see it the one night, and I'm just like, oh, there's so many more episodes of this
I mean,
on
I
Peacock.
already do Netflix and Amazon Prime and Flow Racing. That's enough.
Yeah. Ron Capps is the man. Big
Like
crowd
Caps,
is an understatement. It
Caps
was a
winning funny
mass
car?
sea of humanity.
No, Caps did not win Funny Car.
No, he didn't.
No.
My mom is just a very big Caps fan.
Yeah. Charles, if you have Spectrum/Charter, you can get Peacock free for a year.
Yeah, I don't pay for cable, so that's not a thing.
Okay. I didn't know.
So
If you
Charles, I don't
can't
know.
get it over the, I already told you what I paid for, and then if other than that, if it don't come over the air, nope. I'll bootleg it before I pay for that shit.
Uh, fair assessment.
Man.
Fair assessment.
Yeah, it is.
Uh,
So before we jump off of here, Wyatt, I haven't even ran this idea by you yet for next week.
okay.
What if I told you we might
What
do
if
a
I told
pre-show
you ate the
from
red
Chapel
pill?
Hill? What would you
What?
say to that? Yeah, I had the idea. We're not going to use what we're using now. I am
No,
not going to try to get that
I
work
just
out there.
didn't hear you. I just didn't
Pre-
hear you. You both were talking.
How about doing a pre-show at Chapel Hill on Saturday? Because I'm not going to be able to make it down there in time on Friday.
I don't know.
Because
We gotta
our
piss off
pieces of
somebody else there.
our pieces of equipment came in on from Amazon earlier today.
Sweet.
Yeah,
But
I've
I'm just
only got
saying,
2 mics, so I don't know how many more people we can do.
yeah. I don't know. We gotta piss somebody else off that's doing a pre-show there.
Not if we do it earlier.
Yeah, that's a pre-show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pre
Oh,
to
Well,
pre
you know
show.
what? It's free country. Freedom of the press, First Amendment.
yes, yes.
There it is.
There it is.
So, with that being said, we've already talked about what me and Wyatt are planning on doing. If he doesn't come, then we're gonna have to figure out something else because I'm going to find somebody else to hold a camera during the day on Saturday. Charles, what's your plan next week? Where are you going?
Staying close to home. I've got another TTP hook coming Thursday night on the piggyback of what I did this past weekend. And then this weekend, I'm going to stay close to home. I'm going to an undisclosed location where I'm going to accept Cody Vanderholm's photography challenge to shoot an entire tractor pulling event black and white. I'm not saying where I'm going to appear because if they suck, I want to be able to delete it all and forget that it ever happened.
Hang on. Now I'm going to look and just try to figure out where you're going.
Not even Cody knows where I'm going. No one knows. I've not said.
Oh, Charles. By the way,
I think I have an idea.
That's great.
Just scroll through the schedules over here real quick.
Top Fuel Funny Car winner in Bandamere is Matt Hagen, the Hulk. Hulk Hagen.
Bench press another body panel.
Yeah. Okay, so one more story that I had forgotten about. I promise this is the last one that I had forgotten. Was the Chicago Street Course for NASCAR. The guy who has the same first name as I do, Shane something. I cannot say his last name. I'm not even going to try.
Van Giesbergen,
Yeah, that guy.
New Zealander.
First time in a NASCAR car. Now, granted, it was raining and all that. Whatever. If I'm not mistaken, I heard right. They set it up like he was driving one of his cars over in New Zealand, right?
No,
If I
it
had
was,
read that
it was
right.
it was an actual NASCAR race car, but he was the first guy since what 1960 to win in his first start.
That's insanity.
Which that's cool. I watched a bit of the race. I personally didn't care for it. I hated the race.
I didn't either.
NASCAR is supposed to be turn left at all costs. I did not like the race. I will say one thing.
Really?
I will say something really positive though, and this came out also of the podcast on the Dale Jr. download with Kelly Earnhardt with Sam Flood about how they were going to cover the race for TV and how they were going to announce it. They were going to do it radio style, MRN style, where each announcer had his particular segment of the racetrack that they were going to cover, and then once whatever was being talked about transferred to the next guy's sector, there was a handoff. That was awesome. They nailed that part. I was really, really, really impressed with the coverage when it came to that part of it. I hated the race. I hate the cars. I hate everything that NASCAR has become. But when it came to covering the event and how they did that, that was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I loved that part of it.
Yeah. I didn't like the idea of it going to Chicago for some reason. I don't know why. Whenever they said Chicago Street Course, I kind of was like, why Chicago? But that's also probably biased because if they put it on the streets of Nashville an hour down the road, I'd probably be going to it in a
Well,
heartbeat.
they could have crammed that stuff downtown Detroit and made it a subset of Detroit Grand Prix. Let's be honest. Detroit Grand Prix has been going on since 1982. They've all
Mm-hmm.
sucked. Didn't matter if it was downtown or on Belle Isle, they're all garbage. You want to bring some cool racing back to the Detroit area? Bring me back the Gold Cup hydroplane races. I don't care about racing on the streets. I know it's the Motor
Was that
City, but if you want to do something cool, let's get back to MIS. Let's get Indy cars back there. Let's get NASCAR back there and have some fun on the real wide 2 mile D oval. But downtown Detroit, bring me back the Gold Cup. Otherwise, I don't care. I don't care. The race is going
hydroplane
to suck.
races?
You're going to run into the same potholes and manholes and garbage shit that we drive over and bust tires on all the time. No,
Uh, that's awesome.
it's not a racetrack.
And just looking at all the comments that have rolled in, we've had so many. Uh,
Still
I
can't
think
say
one of them
much.
was
So good. I don't know.
well, I've got Facebook pulled up on the back side of another tab, so from the well, you guys should be able to see it too from the admin side.
one of the questions was how many events have you made for TTPA so far, Charles? For
Where you
Thumb.
see that at, Charles? Or not Charles, Wyatt.
That was under Brenton's comment.
Saturday night was number 2 for me. This coming Thursday will be number 3. I will be probably at Sandusky, Sanilac County 4-H Fair, not as an announcer, but I'll probably be in attendance. That'll be number 4. And then number 5 for me will be Elkton, the season finals for them.
Ah. Yep. As far as announcing goes for me, I've done a couple of hooks for the group in Smithland, Kentucky. They're starting their pulls back up, and I've been able to land it both times. I've been very lucky and fortunate both to get to work with them. They've been a lot of fun. They're supposed to be having one more hook. They're going to call it Fall Brawl. I haven't heard the specific dates yet, but I should be going back down there as far as announcing goes. But other than that, I'm off the microphone until who knows when.
Lisa Joestark is asking Charles if you'll be in Monroe.
I will not be because I will be on microphone at Rockwell, Iowa. So sorry, Lisa. No, I will not be at Monroe.
Why are they not coming to Rockwell is the bigger question.
No, Joe Stocks, they're staying on the regional circuit, and so
Are they?
bummer. Wish you guys were coming to Iowa. That'd be awesome. But no, sorry, Lisa.
Since
That's
we're
gonna be
talking
a
NASCAR, does
bummer.
this mean, Charles, we'll talk about NPK racing? Is there something I'm missing there?
No Prep Kings?
No, you're
Oh,
not
that's
missing a damn thing. I got nothing to say other than Trash Talk is awesome. I like what they do over there, but as far as the drag racing goes, it's bullshit. I don't like it. They crash too much. They suck at driving cars. Yeah, I said what I said. If they were as good at running pedals and steering wheels as they are at running their mouths, they would win some freaking races. They waste too much time. They dick around a whole lot. But I really do appreciate their marketing and the way that they do what they do. They get the engagement that pulling needs, honestly. You guys can get in private chats and be nicey nice all you want. That's great. I'm all for it. The sportsmanship's wonderful. Call some people out, talk some shit, and call a guy out. So I'm gonna kick your ass. Start some rivalries. We need that. MPK guys do that wonderfully. Do I care about the racing? No, it's terrible. It's awful. I don't care
I
about
quit.
it.
I quit watching NPK on a full circuit. I think after Martin finally won his first title, and that was like season 3.
Yeah, I don't care about the racing. The cars are interesting. They come up with some different stuff and different combos, and that's fine. But I don't give a shit, and I never will. Just take the lesson of the marketing of what they do. I don't care about the TV aspect of it, right? None of those guys are doing on social media what they do because a TV contract tells them to. They're driving the car and they're arriving at the events and racing in the events because the TV contract does it. It's lucrative. I get that. That's fine. Um, but the trash talk and everything that goes around it, that needs to happen. That needs to be more of a thing. Everybody wants to be so nice and so like, oh, we can't offend anybody and we got to be so wholesome. Well, NPK is making millions and Street Outlaws are making millions of dollars, and we're scratching trying to figure out how to secure a $5,000 sponsorship. Are you kidding? The model's really, really simple. Really simple. And the high on the horse. Oh, we got to be so nice to everybody, and we've got to be. I'm a Christian person, okay? There's nothing that says, Wyatt, next week my tractor is going to beat the living pants off of yours. Where's the problem in that?
That's the
And you
goal
you
of the
come back
sport.
to me and say, I'm going to beat your pants off. Do it. Bring it. We need some of that.
Like you say, I'm friends with you back in the pits. Certain times on the track, I want to go kick your ass.
Yeah, the
Andy
helmet
said,
gets
"I
put
knew
on,
I
the
would
face
get
shield
on
comes
a
down,
rant."
the face shield comes down, it's game on, and we see it all the time. Like this is not a new concept. Everybody wants to win when the face shield goes down. When it comes up, we all see the same guys run back to the pit area and like, hey, what do you need? How do I get you back in the game?
Mm-hmm.
NPK, honestly, behind the scenes is no different. They're doing it too, but they understand the marketing angle of hiding the generosity and the niceness because the rage part honestly sells. And we've been trying for so long to be nicey nice and try to sell that. And how's that working for you?
Not as much as I thought it would be.
It's not. It's not about. It's not a. No one's going to pass judgment on you as a human being. No one's saying this is who you are. It's not. You don't, and you don't even have to do it in a way that where you're defined by it.
Mm-hmm.
You can trash talk in a way. I look at Stevie Jackson and Lyle Barnett. They can go after somebody, and it's hilarious. And it's also it's like they're attacking a guy, but it's never personal. It's funny, but it's never personal. Why can't we do that? You can tell a guy, hey, all right, you can't say you're slow because it's pulling and not drag racing, but
I
or you
mean,
can you
yeah.
could you can bring that past the 100-foot cone. Try it twice. Bring it on, dude. Your garbage is so messed up. Why couldn't you say it
Yeah.
to somebody? You're not attacking the guy. You're just stirring that pot a little bit. And there's nothing wrong with that. I want to see that. I want to see more of it. And I want to play off of it as an announcer. I want to play off of the rivalries. I want to see stuff stirred up. It doesn't matter that at 3 a.m. we go back behind the trailer and all three of us laugh our asses off and have a great time about it and cook up the next story for tomorrow morning. That'll be great. But it's got to start somewhere. And no one is willing to start anything.
Don't want to ruin the integrity of their name or the integrity of the sport, I guess, but that's just
But you're not.
it's
If you do it right, you're not. If you do it
yeah,
right, you're not.
Yeah.
You
right.
can challenge somebody without insulting them or belittling them or casting yourself in a negative light. You can. It can be done. You can trash talk and do it in the right way without never attack the person, attack the idea, maybe attack their equipment. That might be kind of fun, but I also understand that there's vendors and engine builders and suppliers behind that. So there might be a little bit of a line you got to walk there, but you can certainly attack the idea or the approach and never attack the person, and make it
Right.
funny, make it fun, and make it challenging, and do something there. And I don't see it happening. I wish it would.
I feel like there's certain classes where that concept or idea, if it would actually happen, would really really thrive. It just depends on if the right person gets it done.
Yeah, yeah, and it might even be fun too. Really, actually, there's been times in motorsport where there's been supplier wars. Look at NASCAR in the early 1990s, tire wars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Why couldn't we have a scenario? And I might be stepping on some toes here, but some of these limited turbo classes, we get some turbo wars. Get the guys
Oh,
some.
easy.
oh
Easy.
yeah, if you want to start a pile, we can do that all day long.
Why not? Why not? Why
Easy.
not? And it doesn't have to. Again, it doesn't have to be mean because these guys all know each other. They really do. If you think they don't,
Yeah.
and everybody's working in a vacuum, bullshit. They know each other. Hey,
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to come after you about this thing. You could do it. There's a way to do it, and this is inside baseball. We're playing. If this is t-ball, we're not the guys who are going to swing the bat, but we are definitely the guys who can set up the tee and say, hey, let's do a thing about this. Let's do a thing about that. You swing it out of the park, and let's have some fun. Let's get people talking. Let's get pull off and Facebook to blow up. Why not?
I feel like we should just screw it. We're starting to like limit supers. We're having them guys go after each other.
They do
Funny you
that already
mentioned
on their
that.
own.
Yeah, I don't think they need much help.
No, I think it's just self-inflicted wounds there.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
the only
it's
people who
kind of
need
like,
help in light limited super stock are the guys who can't figure out how to make the tractor perform at 6,200 pounds.
or 6,000, or 61, or 6,050, 6,250, whatever you want to call it.
See what I did there? Teed it up.
Yeah.
There's plenty of ways to do this. It can be fun. It doesn't have to be mean. It doesn't have to be attack the person. I'm not in favor of that.
And Charles,
But
here's
you
the
could
thing.
definitely have.
You and I started this up a little bit at Shipshawana last year. To a degree, we did with the light limited guys, now that I think about it. We had the Wisconsin boys come. We had the Kentucky and Tennessee. It was North versus South. Me and Brent Yarn went back and forth at each other all weekend long over that. Same thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
All of you Wisconsin boys are so badass at 6,500 pounds. Well, you're in Indiana now. You're indoors. Let's see what you got at 6,250. Oh, you Kentucky boys are so badass at 6,000 pounds. Throw 200 pounds on it. You can put it anywhere you want. I don't care. I'm not even going to tell you where to put it on your chassis. You can put it anywhere you want to. Oh, you're so awesome at 6,000. With extra 200 pounds, you can't figure out how to drive it? You suck. Do something like that. You're not attacking the guy.
Geez.
You're not attacking the guy. You're not attacking
Just
even his tractor. But you can have some fun with it. Come on.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Put it on top of
what
the roll
did we-
cage. I don't care. Throw bolt it into your helmet. You can't drive it at 6,200. You could do it at 6,000 in Kentucky. Oh, you're so badass. 30.5s rule everywhere. Yeah, bring it. Welcome to Northern Territory. No one wants to talk like that. They want to be so nice. Everyone's so wonderful, and everything's beautiful, and I love everything. Come on.
Gerba, are you still
Do
in here?
something.
Well, I
Hey,
don't know if
Short
Gerber's
Fighty
here.
popped into the chat.
Yeah,
What's
Short
up, Brent?
Fighty's here.
Yeah, what's up, Short Fighty? Looks like you guys had a little fun last night.
Nice
I
deflection.
like to hear the
Nice
618
deflection.
rolling.
Did you try to steer the conversation away from?
No, I just saw him
Fights.
pop in there. I like Short Fighty, okay? You're not wrong. And after what I saw at Shipshawana last year, with people literally just strapping weights to the front of wherever they could put it, you're not wrong. Figure it out.
Love you,
I
shore
can't
fire.
figure it out. I don't know anything. I know nothing. If I didn't have my two brothers to help me set up my tractor, I would be nowhere. And my dad.
Sounds like you need more turbochargers and a component chassis.
I mean, what do you want me to go to on that one?
Diesel Super. Let's go.
No, I'm good.
What? No.
No, I have no
Dude, if I win
desire.
the
I
lottery,
will
I
be
would have
perfectly
more than
honest. I
my
don't have a
family.
desire yet.
Oh.
Now, if I drive it one time, maybe.
I'll drive it.
I will absolutely drive it.
I don't know if the only other person that has ever driven my brother's tractor that I know of has been Eston Lane. Other than that, I don't think anybody else has
Well,
ever
you
driven
know,
it.
that's there's like if you're gonna stack resumes, like his is I like can't fit in the
His is a
can't fit it in
freaking
the camera.
yeah.
Mine's like
Hey,
That's an
they've traded rides
encyclopedia.
before. My brother's sat in the seat of Redline Fever Light the first time it was around.
Hmm.
It did.
Shore
Had a
Fighty goes. Shore Fighty goes. Yesterday, I just did it the Yellowstone way. Threw some weight back and said, "F it, let's go."
That is the best comment we have had all night long.
so what? That's
Your
what
My
mom-
dad
holds up
just
about you,
texted me and
short
said
fighty.
Salambean drove it too. I forgot that Ryan Salambean, our engine guy, drove it once.
Yeah,
up there in
Salamine
Tulsa.
go in Toma.
I forgot about that.
That was the ugliest class I've seen of that class ever. That was bad.
That year, yeah.
That was bad.
Is Ryan ever going to come back? Is he ever going to drive something again?
We're not saying anything yet.
Oh, that's an admission. Wow, that came flying in there.
You never
Yes.
know where he's going to show up. You
Yeah,
never
who knows?
know. You can never figure out what's going through his head.
Oh, it's way. I'm sure
It's
it's
turning
miles
200
ahead of
miles
any
an
of
hour.
us.
Yeah. Love that
That was
guy, though.
that was an admission. I'm gonna drill down on you after this is over.
Hey, we've had discussions over this before. Ain't the first time.
I know what's in the shop. I'll put it that way. I know what's sitting back there.
Lordy, lordy.
He also has kids that love pulling. Keep that in mind. Charles, who are you?
Hey Pat, when can I come down there? It's just fun.
I was gonna say he didn't.
I say Pat gets on the call. All right, buddy.
Yeah, but y'all, in all seriousness, we need to wrap it up. We went over our hour threshold by like 15 minutes.
Hell, that's only half of what Let's Grow does.
Yeah, I know. Charles has to rest up for tomorrow too, don't you?
Yeah, probably. I don't even know what the agenda is for tomorrow night's show.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Oh man. Well, everyone, thank you for tuning into this. This has been a lot of fun to get us three back together and not ranking things, just having general pulling discussions and drag racing discussions and conversations about these motorsports as a whole, man. This is what we want it to be. What we just did. It's gonna be kick back, relax, bring your friends, and let's have a conversation. That's what this is. That's what we want it to be. And we're gonna keep posting videos up on our Facebook page. Right now, we're only at one a day because, honestly, all I have time to post right now. Wyatt, Charles, y'all can post anything y'all want. I gave y'all access. Finally, I figured out how to do that the other day. But yeah, so until next time, we don't know. Like I said before, we don't know when we'll get back together again to do a second one of these. It's probably not going to be. Me and Wyatt might jump on and do something before Bowling Green. If you can too, that'd be phenomenal.
I'm not going to do any rankings, but I am going to say this. You suck, and start saying it to other people and get something started.
Yes.
And
Yes.
with that, y'all, we are absolutely out. We will see y'all later. Thanks, everyone, for coming in. In live video.
and we can't end it.